Hi everyone, and welcome back today on Faunteeshow as we deal on the topic commitment. I committed to doing this video at 3 p.m. and that is why I had to leave everything that I'm doing to make sure that I meet you guys by 3 p.m. I think it's 3 minutes past 3. Just 3 minutes past. Probably if I wasn't committed to it, I would have said, okay, let me do that 3 times, because it's not really very convenient for me to do it at this time. But then because I'm committed to, keeping to the time that I have given you, because I respect your own time, and I respect the fact that you give your own time to tune in to speak with me, or to to be part of my my deliberations every Sunday. So thank you so much for sticking to the time and coming on with me. So today I'm going to deal on the topic commitment. What does commitment mean to us? How do you view the word commitment? Majority of the things that Majority of the problems that the world has today is people's inability to commit. Some people are afraid to make a commitment to whatever they want to do. Commitment is such a powerful thing that it has the power to create success. It has the power to create failure as well. If you're not committed to something, you're not going to give your 100%. Let me tell you this. For you to be committed to something, means that you have a goal. And for you to have a goal means that you have a vision. And for you to have a vision means that you have a purpose. These are all intertwined, are interconnected. There's no way you're going to be committed to something you do not have respect for. So people go into relationships, but they're not willing to commit to the success of that relationship. People go into business and they're not willing, to commit to actualizing the purpose of that business. People go into marriage without, having at the back of their mind to commit, to make the necessary commitments to make that marriage to work. So commitment, or lack of it, is the bedrock of all the societal things that we see, whether good or bad. I haven't seen any successful person who is not committed to, their purpose or their goal. And for you to have a purpose, you need to first of all, discover what your vision is. You need to know your why. Has to be very huge for you to be able to commit to it. So that is why it's very, very important that you discover who you are first, discover your purpose. And when you discover your purpose, that will help you create your vision, your life vision. And once you have created your life vision, you'll be able to break it down into smaller goals. The difference in all of this is that a goal is, how do I put it now? A goal is, is a breakdown, a chunk of your vision, but it's measurable. It's pinpointing your vision at a particular time. For example, let's say a parent who is committed to making sure to providing a good life for his or her children. That's a vision. That's a big vision. That's a purpose. Now, to bring it down or to break it down, the father or the mother will not be committed to doing a job that will earn him enough money to take care of the daily needs of the children, especially their daily meal. Make sure there is food on the table all the time, so that their children have, healthy daily meal, or have roof over their head. So those are, are goals. Then you can also even pin it down more. You can pin it down to how much money can I be earning every month for me to be able to, give my children enough meal each dinner, give my children enough food each meal, or, is it 3 square meal or 2 square meal? You need to be able to define those things. That will determine, one, how much work you do, how much you dedicate yourself to your work or to your business or to whatever you do. And when you make that commitment, when you have defined your goal, you will find that you need to commit to it. Because if you don't commit to it, you find that even when you get the money, you will not know where the money is going to go. And this is one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs have. You see a lot of people, they start up a business, because probably they saw their friend who has started a business or who is doing something, especially this era of social media where, you can come online and you quickly get motivated. And, you see people jump on and they want to do what everyone is doing. But then they lack the basic, discipline to be committed to the goal because they haven't got a goal in the first place. If you start something that you haven't visualized before, it's not your vision. Therefore, you have no goal. Your only thing is that you want to do what everyone is doing. Therefore, you will not be committed. At the least challenge, you see yourself crumbling. But somebody who has a vision, who has a goal, who is committed to those vision and goal, no matter the challenge, will never be defeated. They might slow down. You might slow down. You might think of slowing down during times of challenges and all that, but it's not going to really stop you because the overall vision and goal that you have committed to is bigger than yourself. You will see that it's going to be bigger than the challenge itself. So the point here is for you to involve yourself in anything. For you to involve yourself in anything, you have to make sure that, one, you are convinced that that overall aim of whatever it is in line with your vision, or is in line with your short-term goal and long-term goal. Therefore, these are the things that will determine your commitment. People who lack integrity, people who lack vision or goals, you see them making they are very quick at making promises. They promise that they're going to do something, but they're not committed to their promises. And that is one of the things that breaks, relationships as quickly as anything. You don't promise what you cannot commit to. Or even if you do promise and you find out that, for one reason or the other, you're not going to be able to commit to it and, dedicate your life or time or resources to that promise that you've made, for whatever reason, as quickly as possible, come back and let the other person know and explain to your person. And all these things also depends on the respect you have. People can say a lot of things. People can promise as many times as they want. People can tell you how much they love you. If they're not committed to what you're doing, it is their commitment to you, to that relationship with them. It is their commitment that defines their respect for you or for whatever you two have together. So, and when you realize that somebody really do not have respect for, whatever thing you share with that person, that is the beginning of your distrust or mistrust. So we have to really be, very, how do I put it? We have to be very cautious of what we get involved with. Take, for example, you see a lot of people who are leaders of so many groups. It's a joke. It is a joke. No matter how competent, how good you think you are, there's no way you're going to accept to lead more than 2 groups or 3 groups. When you see a person who is a leader of 10 groups, 15 groups, mind you, that person is not committed to any of them. It's as simple as that. There is no logic about it. This is a basic principle. You cannot be committed to more than yourself. So when you see, when we run around, we talk to people, we see all this breakdown in government, we see all this breakdown in leaderships, in places, in relationships, in marriages. It all hinges at commitment, the level of commitment that people have. Are you really committed to what you said you're going to do? Are you really committed to what you tell people you are? how you present yourself. Are you committed to, to that? Your level of commitment determines your level of success. Nobody goes out to, to chase success. You cannot go out chasing success. No, you go out trying to actualize your goals bit by bit through commitment. For example, now when you're doing a business, when you start a business, you have funding. When you have funding, you're going to look at your goal first. Let's say, for example, this year you want to, or maybe this month, you want to reach out, or you want to increase the number of your clients, depending on what you do. And you need to do marketing to reach that number of people. Therefore, if you have £500 in your pocket, the first thing that comes into your mind is that goal that you have set. The goal that you have said that you want to do marketing, you want to market your business or your brand or whatever it is. You want to, you want to push your business. Then you would know that £500 first goes into your business. But if you're not committed to that your business, or especially if you haven't got any goals for that business, it is difficult for you to prioritize. It's difficult for you to budget. It's difficult for you to channel resources to where they are needed. And this is the major issue with, especially all the leaders in the world that we have now. You find where they say there are no resources, there are no food, there are no money, a country doesn't have money to pay their workers and all that. You start wondering, what are their priorities? Because their primary focus is not the citizen, it's not the well-being of the citizens. When a government or a person is dedicated to something or committed to something, that becomes your primary focus. And you find out that, prioritizing or making that in a priority becomes very, very easy. Let's also, for example, when, the things that we go to, let's say, for example, for an event, you have a friend who does event like myself. Now, you've been my friend for a long time. Then each time that something comes up, you tell me that, okay, you don't have time. That automatically tells me where you placed me in your life. That automatically tells me where you place my relationship with you. That automatically tells me that I'm not a priority to you. Because, in life, our priorities change, our goals change as we grow, as we develop, as we find ourselves, as we continue to discover who you are. You find out that your priorities begin to change. As these priorities change, one thing is this: your goals might change with time, but your overall vision will never change. Let me break this down. Now, like when I was about 6 years old, I've already visualized what I want to be, who I want to be. No matter what route I go through, all my effort is going towards that vision. My vision has never changed about who I am or what I want to actualize in my life. My vision determines the goals that I set at all times. So, those goals, that overall vision, also determines what you commit to. Commitment is very, very important in our lives. In everything that we do, you need to think about, am I really committed to this? Before you promise anything, make sure that, you have aligned the overall vision of what it is to your own vision, and then you'll be able to commit to it. Without commitment, there is no marriage will work. Without commitment, there is no business. Without commitment, there is no friendship. Without commitment, there is no truth. Without commitment, there is no, call it whatever it is. Humans can relate because we commit to each other. We commit to, helping each other. We commit to being your brother's keeper. We commit to, helping to safeguard your children. You commit to several things. Commitment is the bedrock of everything. You cannot actualize anything. You cannot achieve anything without being committed to it. We commit to doing good. The only thing that does not require any commitment is, what's it called? Is anything bad. Doing something bad does not need any commitment. You find yourself doing it. So you need to commit yourself to, channeling yourself, channeling your energy, channeling your resources towards your goal, towards your vision, towards, making the life of people around you better. So today, let's think about it. Check yourself, check your relationships, check your things that you're doing, check the things that are going wrong in your life. Check how much committed have you been with these things. And then that will tell you why things go the way they go. You cannot make a promise without committing to that promise. You cannot have a good marriage without committing to telling yourself that, look, I'm going to do my best to make my marriage work. For me, somebody who came from a broken family, right from long time ago, I told myself, if at all I'll need to get married, I must be committed to making sure my marriage works, because I have seen firsthand the impact, the effect of bad, broken down families, or bad marriages, or violent marriage to the children. And when a child is broken, the society is automatically broken, because you can't think of a society without thinking of individuals, without thinking of families. So all the things that we are seeing are a product of people not committing to making sure that things work. You need to commit to it. You need to commit to something for something to happen. Things do not happen by themselves. You cannot start a business and you expect it to just start, selling itself. You need to commit to giving it your time, giving it your energy. You need to commit to learning the skills that you need to grow your business. When I was getting married, one of my friends told me, "Oh, this is the time. This is the time. Time for what? This is the time for me to start, making deals. Asking the guy for a lot of money. Demanding for everything that you need. So I looked at her. I said, "Look, my primary goal of getting married is not to make my husband my ATM. The things that I couldn't afford. Why do I think this man should now afford it all of a sudden? If I'm committed to building a relationship, a lasting relationship with somebody I'm going to get married to, then I have to commit that relationship to my own overall vision, which is what I think for myself. I need to understand that this man also has a vision. Then we have to bring our visions together and create our own family vision. So if my aim of getting married is to swindle a man, or to take out as much money as possible from him, that means I'm not committed to that relationship. My aim is just to probably make money. Then why don't I go and become a 419er and start making deals left and right? So many of the woes that we see in our society is because people are so afraid to commit, to make a commitment, because commitment is a deep-rooted value system of discipline. Commitment is a deep-rooted discipline, value system. If you're not highly disciplined, it's difficult for you to commit to anything. Commitment and discipline go hand in a glove. For you to be committed to something, you must be highly disciplined. So many people lack discipline. So when you're disciplined, you'll be able to know your own values. You will have your own value. You will have your integrities. Your integrity is at stake. But when you don't have integrity, you don't have values, you don't have discipline, you find yourself, talking and getting involved with so many things without being committed, and you cause a lot of heartbreak. We see this a lot in our youngsters. You get into a relationship with, let's say, a guy going into a relationship with a girl, and you're promising this girl that you love her, you be there for her, you are everything to her. But at the back of your mind, you know that you're not committed to what you're saying. You're only destroying a person's, life by doing all that. When you get involved with people, promise what you can commit to. Be disciplined enough to say no. You have to be disciplined, have a self-respect for yourself and respect for the person you're dealing with. So that when it's necessary for you to say no, you can actually say no. When something is not easy for you to do, you can actually tell the person, look, I don't think I'll be able to do this. You find yourself having more respect by being open and truthful with whoever you're dealing with. Because myself, I will respect somebody who respects me by telling me what they can or cannot do, than keeping my hopes alive and thinking that you're with me. At the end of the day, I found out that your mouth and your mind, the things that are coming out of your mouth and the things that are going on in your mind are not in equilibrium. Is a disaster. So commitment, is rooted in value system, which is based on discipline. And you cannot be committed to anything if you haven't got a goal or overall vision. So that's the summary of my today's talk. And as usual, I'll be happy to hear your own points. I'll be happy to hear your own experiences or whatever you have to say. Do you have anything to add to what I've said, or do you disagree with anything I've said? Just on the comment section, you can always share and deliberate on these topics. What does commitment mean to you? Have you always viewed commitment as a primary thing for your relationship with another person? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about how committed you are to what you say or what you promise people? Now, that's the end of it today with you. Let me not waste so much of your time. I remain, your girl, Faunte, as always. So you can always like the page so that whenever I'm online live, you'll be able to connect as quickly as possible. So that's all from me today. Happy Sunday. And if you've already gone to mass or gone to church, thank you for praying for us. If you're people like us who go in the evening, we pray for you too. Thank you so much. Bye.